Good morning, and welcome to this very special event at BCIT. This day is for you, for families and friends, and most importantly, this is a day for students to walk across our stage and become graduates of BCIT. My name is Danny Catt. I am an instructor and program head of the Fish, Wildlife, and Recreation program in the School of Construction and the Environment here at BCIT, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this morning. A little housekeeping before we begin. We do have professional photographers here with us today from Mountain West Studios. Photos will be taken of each graduate as they cross the stage, and they will have the opportunity to view and purchase the photo at order.mountainwest.ca by entering the code BCIT 2016. Did you remember that? We encourage you to take any personal photos with your graduate following the ceremony. The photographers will also be available for individual portraits and with family members after each ceremony. Follow the signs upstairs to room 3040. I'll remind you about that later. There is a $10 cash-only sit fee for this service. We are doing a live stream video of the ceremony, and I think my goddaughter in South Africa is watching. If you have someone at home, you can sneak them a quick message to go to bcit.ca, and they will be guided from there. So bcit.ca, and you'll be guided from there. There is no need to capture your own video of the ceremony. The link to the professional video will remain on our website for several months. You can view it again or download it to keep for yourself. Now, we want to make this an enjoyable occasion for everyone. So once you've texted, tweeted, or talked, out of courtesy to others, please ensure that anything you have that makes noise, Blackberries, phones, etc., please turn them to silent during the ceremony. Our participants are about to enter the auditorium. Our piper, Vern Kennedy, will lead our faculty and platform party as well. Once they are in place, it's time to welcome our students, led by Barry Hogan, Dean, Academic Planning and Quality Assurance, and Donna Mackay, Registrar. So, please rise to greet our processions, and please remain standing until after the singing of the national anthem. Our processions begin with our faculty and our platform party. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2016. Please remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem, led by Stephanie Standerwick.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Stephanie. Would everyone please be seated? I'd like to ask Mary Roberts to come forward to bring a welcome from the Coast Salish people. Mary was raised in the Musqueam community with a strong cultural and traditional upbringing. She worked with the Vancouver School Board for over 30 years, and we at BCIT are honored to have Mary as an elder in residence. She truly represents the past, present, and the future with her gentle ways of incorporating language, culture, and the teachings of the Musqueam people.
Good morning. My English name is Mary Roberts. My Musqueam name is Walastanat. It is an honor to welcome each and every one of you this morning to the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam unceded territory. We become united in the name of education. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Next, I'd like to welcome the Aboriginal Women's Ensemble, Magro, who will be performing a traditional song of welcome and celebration.
Good morning. This is a gathering song from the Anishinaabe people, and we sing it to you, amazing graduates. Oh my gosh. Way hey, hey 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 oh, hey oh hi yo hi yo hi way oh hi way hey hey oh way hey hey oh hey oh hi way hey
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I would now like to introduce our platform party. I'll ask them to stand when I call their names and to please remain standing. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Starting with the back row, Donna Mackay, Registrar. Teresa Place, President, Faculty and Staff Association. Following our Associate Deans from the School of Construction and the Environment, James Kai, Industrial Construction. Dave Rutherford, Natural Resources. From the School of Transportation, Steve Perry, Associate Dean, Motive Power, Annacis Island. Eric Fry, Faculty, Automotive, Burnaby Campus. And moving to the front row, Barry Hogan, Dean, Academic Planning and Quality Assurance. Guy Ellis, Dean, School of Transportation. From the School of Construction and the Environment, Jenny Moore, Director, Sustainable Development and Environmental Stewardship, representing Dean Wayne Hand. Adam Peon, Chair, BCIT Board of Governors. Distinguished Service Award recipient and our keynote speaker today, Mark Angelo. Kathy Kinlock, President. Tom Romer, Vice President, Academic. Kim Dotto, Dean, Applied Research. And Jennifer Figner, Chair, Educational Council. Ladies and gentlemen, your platform party. Thank you. Also in attendance today is Jack Davidson, member, BCIT Board of Governors, and also Gordon Farrell, BCIT alumnus and retired faculty member. I now welcome President Kathy Kinlock for her opening remarks.
Thanks, Danny, and welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be here for the 2016 Spring Convocation. Graduates of BCIT, you've earned an impressive credential and the right to be excited about your future today. But before you cross the stage, let's acknowledge some other very impressive people in this room. Thank you, first of all, to the family and friends of our graduates. You have supported our grads in countless ways. It's largely because of you that they are here. Thank you also to our faculty and staff. Your generosity is inspiring. You've worked so hard to get our students here, and I know how proud each one of you are of them and how special today is for you. Nothing is more exciting than to see the students cross and become graduates and see their faculty members. Thank you for being inclusive, for striving to make the benefits of a BCIT education accessible for our students, and I defy any other post-secondary to produce a more dedicated group of educators. Thank you so much. So I ask all our graduates to please stand and thank the people in this room who've supported you. Give them a big shout out. Please give them a round, stand and give them a round of applause. That's great. I hear calls for, hey mom, thank you, please be seated. Today we have one of BCIT's longest serving educators in the room. Gordon Farrell worked here for 35 years. And Gordon, can you please stand? I know it's a little bit hard for everyone to see you, but he's over to my left. He also enrolled as a student here in the first intake BCIT had, and his convocation took place in June of 1966, 50 years ago this week. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you for your many, many contributions as an instructor and as an ongoing advocate for BCIT, Gordon. And here's what you can all do, graduates. When you get to retirement age, you too can be like Gordon and become the president of the BCIT Retirees Associations. But you've got a little ways to go. So graduates, I now turn to you. Thank you. Thank you for putting your faith in us. Thank you for supporting one another and for your perseverance. BCIT is not an easy road. We demand a lot, but we promise a lot. We promise graduates who are adept in their field, yet humble in character. Workers who are collaborative in spirit and entrepreneurial in their approach. Citizens who strive for personal success and success in the world and for the world. Innovative thinkers who will solve problems of the greatest issues of our time. With this group, I believe we have delivered on our ambitious promise. Graduates, this is a day of your celebration, a moment to reflect proudly on your accomplishments and those of your fellow graduates. Take, for example, Jessica Kim. Jessica, are you in the audience? Would you like to stand? No. During Jessica's studies, she served on several volunteer committees and worked as a student association counselor. She was also voted class representative for the Interior Design degree program, an impressive cohort. Interior design students recently took part in a major design competition, testing their skills against 64 submissions from 31 North American schools, no less. And BCIT brought home first, second, and third place. Congratulations. Jessica says group success is thanks to the instructors like Robin McIntosh, whose extensive knowledge of design and kind nature inspires her students. Another student worthy of mention, and you're all worthy of mention, is Carolyn Taylor. Her grades in the Railway Conductor program have been unprecedented. And Carolyn, are you willing to stand? Great, they're just at the front of the room. For 13 of, let me just tell you a little bit about her. She deserves a big applause. For 13 of her 19 courses, Carolyn received 100%. That didn't happen to me. And for the final and most difficult course, she got 98%, the highest mark ever earned by a student. But her grades aren't the only way Carolyn stands out amongst her peers. She impressed industry insiders with a recent presentation, and she was also the only woman in her program. Carolyn says dedicated instructors such as John Wetzel helped her succeed. Carolyn, congratulations. And a special thank you to the instructors at both the School of Transportation and the School of Construction and the Environment. I'd like to introduce one more very special graduate to you now. Would Andrew McLaughlin please stand up? Andrew McLaughlin, there you are at the back, and please stand up. Now, you're probably wondering, why is Andrew McLaughlin so special today? Because Andrew will be one of the last students to cross our stage today. And I'd like to ask all our graduates to return to their seats after receiving their credential and be present and give Andrew the biggest hoot and holler, just as he celebrates your walking across the stage as you will him. So thank you, Andrew, and we look forward to doing that. Graduates, your adventure is just beginning. The road does not end here, and neither should your education. Whether back at BCIT, through other education, or in your new roles in industry, keep learning. Read, travel, talk to strangers, stay curious. Most of all, have fun, you've earned it. Today marks the end of your current program, but not the end of your relationship with BCIT. We have a large and impressive alumni body. Please stay in touch. You have my sincere admiration. Congratulations to each and every one of you and to everyone who made it possible for these students to become graduates today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I'd now like to call upon Adam Peon, who will bring greetings from the board and introduce our Distinguished Service Award recipient and keynote speaker.
Thanks, Danny. How's everybody feeling out there? Hopefully a little bit relieved. Good morning, honored guests, members of the platform party, ladies and gentlemen, and graduates. I'm delighted to be here with you this morning to congratulate our graduates on behalf of the Board of Governors. To all our graduating students, well done. The choice you made to come to BCIT and the hard work you've put in here has changed the course of your future, and it's no exaggeration to say that your newly gained skills and credentials will open many doors for you. Employers know that when they hire a BCIT grad, they're getting someone who can hit the ground running. Our grads are known for their tenacity, talent, and ingenuity. Whichever path you embark on in your professional and personal lives, you will make a difference. That's a guarantee. You've put in many hours of study and have faced countless challenges along the way. Deadlines, all-nighters, tough exams, but still you got it done. And today, just take a look around. You're surrounded by family and friends who are incredibly proud of each of you and all that you've accomplished. You've also earned the respect of your instructors. They know just what it took to get where you are today. Each of you deserves to feel enormously proud. Your time at BCIT has come to an end, but your achievements won't stop here. I challenge you to build on everything you've learned and accomplished during your time at BCIT. Commit yourself to making an impact within your future workplaces and within your community. On behalf of the BCIT Board of Governors, our warmest congratulations to you all on your academic and personal achievements. Now I have the pleasure of introducing Mark Angelo, a highly accomplished individual whom we're privileged to have as our keynote speaker. BCIT is also honoring Mark this morning with a Distinguished Service Award. The Distinguished Service Award recognizes individuals for their outstanding and sustained service to BCIT and the community. For Mark, that's quite an understatement. Mark is an internationally celebrated river conservationist, speaker, writer, teacher, and paddler. He began teaching at BCIT in 1974 and as an instructor in the BCIT Fish, Wildlife, and Recreation program. Mark then became program head and went on to found the BCIT Rivers Institute. Since his retirement in 2011, Mark has served as Chair Emeritus at BCIT Rivers Institute. In addition to his work at BCIT, Mark founded BC Rivers Day as well as World Rivers Day. He's also written hundreds of articles and essays and is a regular contributor to newspaper, editorial, and travel sections. A renowned conservationist, Mark's work has been recognized with numerous prestigious awards, including the Order of British Columbia, the Order of Canada, and the United Nations Stewardship Award. Mark has received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the BCIT Alumni Association, as well as an honorary doctorate from SFU in recognition of his river conservation efforts. As an avid paddler, Mark has traveled along close to 1,000 rivers around the world. In 2015, Canadian Geographic named him one of Canada's greatest modern-day explorers. Mark is also currently working on a global river documentary, River Blue, which is set for release in September 2016. It is with great pleasure that I welcome Mark Angelo and bestow upon him the BCIT Distinguished Service Award.
Thank you, Kathy and Adam. Please sit down, everyone. And now I invite Mark to deliver his address.
Thank you, Danny, and thank you, Adam. To the Board of Governors, the President, distinguished platform party graduates and guests, it is wonderful to be here this morning, and I am so very grateful for this award. And I'm also honored to be able to say a few words to you, the grads of 2016. This is an amazing day in your life, something you should celebrate and something you should be very, very proud of. Now, as Adam mentioned, I had the privilege of working at BCIT for many, many years, and I feel very lucky for that. I started back in the early 70s when the Institute was very, very young, and yes, I'm definitely showing my older age. And back then, both staff and students in many programs still had to wear ties as part of a dress code. It was a very different era. And when I started as a teacher, I wasn't any older than many of you. And I remember being a bit intimidated by that. So in my first lectures, I actually found myself trying to lower my voice so I sounded a little older. But then I soon realized that being nervous in a new job is just part of life, and you have to have confidence that you're there because you can do it. So BCIT has been a big part of my life. I met my wife Kathy here. Our oldest daughter Kelly attended the broadcast program and now works here. I also had many amazing colleagues over the years, one of which is Danny Catt, our MC today. And from the beginning, BCIT has always been a great institution, and a very unique one because of its applied nature. And yet, as good schools must do, it has continued to evolve in many positive ways. Now, the credential bestowed upon you today will certainly prepare you for a very successful and rewarding career. But that same educational experience will also enable you to play a broader role if you so choose, one in which you could help to influence and shape your profession, your community, the province, and maybe even the planet as a whole. I've always believed that institutions are measured, perhaps more than anything else, by the contributions their grads make to their fields and to society. And all of you will have a chance to do your part, just as so many other past BCIT grads have done. Now, as Adam mentioned, I've spent much of my life traveling down rivers. Rivers like the Mekong, the Nile, the Yangtze, the Amazon, and our very own Fraser, to name just a few. And those trips provided many memorable and even life-altering experiences. But those same trips helped to cultivate a deeply held view that rivers are lifelines in the truest sense. Far more life of all kinds resides closer to rivers than away from them. And yet we often don't treat them or respect them as we should. And I do believe that the protection of rivers and our water resources in general is our planet's most pressing environmental challenge. In effect, rivers are the arteries of the planet. And I see a river like the Fraser as literally the heart and soul of our beautiful province. And having spent so much time on the Fraser, I've come to see a lot of parallels between the characteristics of a river's course and the stages all of us go through in our own lives. A river like the Fraser, as an example, runs for 1,375 kilometers, and yet begins as just a very small stream flowing off of Mount Robson. And then as it carries on, it gets bigger and faster and wilder, perhaps a stage that some of us have gone through. And having paddled the river's full course, I've seen those wilder sections firsthand up close. And as happens in life, when you hit wild rapids, your boat flips on occasion. And when that happens, you simply have to right your raft, you get back in, and you carry on. Then as the river nears its end, it moves a little slower, becomes a little broader, perhaps meanders a bit before reaching the sea. So a river's journey can be much like our own personal journey. And looking out at the grads in the audience, if I equated the stage of your life right now to, let's say, a map of the Fraser River, most of you would still be up in the river's upper reaches. So you still have a long way to paddle and much to do. Now, in those exciting and fun years you have in front of you, I'd like to offer 6 brief thoughts or notions that I subscribe to that perhaps you might choose to embrace along the way. 1, dare to pursue a dream. Now, graduating from BCIT certainly fulfills one of those dreams, a great dream. But there will also be other aspirations in future, and whatever those are, big or small, pursue them. That's something my dad told me long ago when he saw how enamored I was with rivers and the outdoors. And as a little boy, I remember being so captivated by moving water. I could literally explore a creek for hours, turning over rocks, looking for critters and fish. Then as a teenager, I got into paddling in a big way. And by then I knew if at all possible, I wanted to spend my life trying to protect rivers. It was a dream at the time, but that's how many things we do in life begin. You then have to decide to pursue it and make it a reality. Number 2, dare to explore. In my early 20s, I tended to interpret the word exploration in a much more traditional sense. And back then, to me, it meant traveling to wild rivers and wild places. But as I got older, I came to view the word in a much broader sense. A word that also means exploring new paths, investigating new methodologies, simply trying to do things in a better and more effective way. And from that perspective, all of us can and should be explorers. And I have no doubt that most of you will be. Number 3, dare to look at things, not so much as what they are, but what they should be. For example, when I came to BCIT way back in the early 70s, Gishon Creek in that beautiful southeast corner of campus, which many of you have walked along, back then it looked nothing like it does now. Back then, both the creek and the area around it was barren and damaged, and the stream had become virtually a lifeless drainage ditch. Yet back then, we also talked to elderly residents who remembered how beautiful the creek had been back in the 1920s and 1930s. So we thought, wouldn't it be neat to reclaim it and bring it back to what it once was? And thanks to the efforts of students and staff, we made great headway. The area is now a green oasis. The creek has a vibrant trout fishery. And last fall, we actually had a few salmon return to the upper creek for the first time in 60 years, which was amazing. So whatever you do in life, at some point there will be an opportunity to change something for the better, to make it what it should be. 4, do your part for the environment. In both your personal and work life, do your best to recycle, conserve energy, use water wisely. Also, each of us in this room buys things every day. So my hope is that more and more of us will practice conscious consumerism and give thought to the ecological footprint of the products we use. As examples, many of you are already making selective choices in the food you buy. And who would have guessed a decade ago that there would now be a very significant market for things like organic products, free-run eggs, certified sustainable foods. And as our new film, River Blue, will point out in September, it'll open at the Vancouver International Film Festival, I'm hoping in future we'll be just as selective about the clothes we buy. Because the fashion industry, from textiles to leather to denim, is a major polluting industry, and it particularly affects rivers. So it's a sector where we have to embrace new ways, be more sustainable, more ethical. And by asking questions and being more discerning as consumers, we can all help to attain positive change. Number 5, ensure nature remains part of your life as well as the little ones you may be connected to. We are so lucky to live in a province where the natural world is not far away. Take advantage of that. I think that's so important to our mental and physical health. Being outside makes us happier, and it keeps us connected to the real world. Just as importantly, exploring a park or a local creek with a child is simply a great way to spend time with them, and it's something I love doing with our grandkids. Yet many children grow up in today's urban environment with little exposure to the natural world. And if that continues, I worry that the next generation may lose that link to nature and may be less likely to appreciate the importance of protecting the environment. And finally, number 6, In the years ahead, there will be periodic challenges of all sorts, but I hope you'll always retain that optimism that's in you today. Sure, at times that may be easier said than done, but optimism is simply the tendency to believe, and without it, roadblocks can seem almost insurmountable. I think back to my own travels and some of the disturbing things that I've seen, from pollution and terrorism to illness, hunger, and thirst. So it would be easy to be pessimistic about the future of the planet. But I've never come to that point. In fact, I'm optimistic, sometimes cautiously so, but I am optimistic about the future. And a major reason has to do with the many young people I've had the privilege of working with. And so many came from BCIT. Young people that were energetic, committed, principled, and passionate. So in the end, when push comes to shove, I do believe we'll do the right thing as a society, and your generation will play a huge role. The road ahead won't always be smooth. At times it'll seem like some of those big turbulent rapids on the Fraser that I mentioned earlier, but that's the nature of the times. Bottom line, we live in one of the most beautiful and vibrant places on the planet. And when you couple that with new grads like yourselves taking on an increasingly prominent role, it's hard not to be hopeful about what lies ahead. You'll achieve great things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. I was one of the very lucky ones who had Mark as an instructor. So 31 years ago, as a teenage boy, I was influenced so much by Mark, and he was and continues to be an inspiration, and I'm very proud to say a very close friend. Fabulous, Mark. Thank you so much. We have two special awards to present at this time. I ask President Kinloch and Eleanor Huey to please come forward for the presentation of the Lieutenant Governor's General's Award for Trades.
So the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Trades is presented annually at Convocation to the student who achieves outstanding performance in his or her trade and contributes in a positive way to the life of the Institute and to the community at large. This year's recipient for the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Trades, and I'm pleased to see as a woman, is Eleanor Huey. Eleanor, would you please just take a bow here? Now let me tell you a little bit about Eleanor. Among her many successes at BCIT, Eleanor has excelled academically. She's graduating from the Airport Operations program with a 90% average. Because of her tremendous talent and commitment, Eleanor won the Best All-Around Student Award in her graduating class, and she also earned 4 academic scholarships during her time in the Airport Operations program. Now, in addition, in case you didn't think that was enough, to her stellar academic work, Lauren has been a leader and ambassador for the program. And she was also the class representative for entire 4 terms for Airport Operation Program and led the ATC Orbis Plane Pull in 2015, bringing students together, alumni and instructors for an important cause. She was also thoroughly immersed in campus life too, and was even a student blogger in the BCIT Update blog. In support of Eleanor's nomination for this award, one of her instructors wrote, "It's difficult to believe that someone so young has accomplished so much, and she makes it all look effortless. It's with great pleasure that we honor Eleanor with the Lieutenant Governor's Award for Trades. Congratulations. Please join me in.
Thank you, Kathy, and congratulations, Eleanor. Next, would Jenny Moore and Tom Sayre please come forward? Jenny will be presenting the Teaching Excellence Award for the School of Construction and the Environment to Tom.
All right, Tom Sayre is a renewable resources instructor in the Fish, Wildlife, and Recreation program. Tom's students have provided a lot of positive feedback about him. He's fun, incredibly knowledgeable, and he's an instructor with an excellent communication capability. But most of all, they're appreciative of the fact that he's always there for them, whether he's answering questions about course material or providing valuable career advice. And his presence has made a difference. As one of his students wrote, Tom is always there for both students and his colleagues. I swear, if Tom weren't there, this program could not run so smoothly. Tom, again, to quote one of his students, said about Tom, he's a terrific role model for our entire class. He's always passionate about everything he does, and he makes everyone feel respected. And in turn, the students feel honored to know him and offer him nothing but utmost respect. Congratulations, Tom. You've really earned this one.
Thank you, Jenny, and congratulations, Tom. I'm really spoiled. Mark taught me, and then I've had the pleasure of working with Tom for the last 15 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to that exciting moment when our graduates are about to cross the stage and be recognized for completing their programs here at BCIT. And here's the process we'll be following. The students will leave the auditorium. You've seen some of them leave already, and they'll return through the side door on my left. They will hand me their credential. I will read their name, and then I'll return the credential. Please don't go away without me giving it back to you. The photographer will take a photo as they meet President Kathy Kinloch. Then our grads will shake a few hands as they cross the stage. Kathy Kinloch, President, Mark Angelo, Distinguished Service Award recipient, Adam Peon, Chair, BCIT Board of Governors, and the Dean of their school. You may also see faculty members coming forward to join the line and shake the hands of the students they have supported, instructed, and have come to know over their time here. This special connection between our students and our faculty is an important part of the experience. As each graduate leaves the stage, you will become a BCIT alumnus and a member of the BCIT Alumni Association, joining a global membership of over 165,000 alumni around the world. You will be presented with an alumni pin to mark this occasion. We hope that you will wear your pins proudly and keep in touch with BCIT. As Kathy mentioned in her remarks earlier, we want to ensure that all of our graduates, from the very first to cross the stage to our final graduate, that they're all equally and respectfully acknowledged as they receive their credential. So we ask graduates to please return to your seat and along with all of your guests, continue to be present and recognize your fellow graduates in their important moment. Once all of our graduates have received their credentials, our valedictorian will come forward to deliver his address. Now, would you please take your places and congratulate our graduates as they come across the stage. But I have to walk over there. Actually, no, I don't. There's only one podium now. There used to be two. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, starting with the School of Construction, Wayne Han, Dean. School of Construction, Building Design and Construction Technology, Jenny Moore is Associate Dean. And also School of Construction, Building Design and Construction Trades, Stephen Salloway is Associate Dean. And School of Construction, Industrial Construction, James Kai is Associate Dean. And then School of Construction, Natural Resources, David Rutherford is Acting Associate Dean. And to start, with a Master of Engineering and Building Science, the director is Fitsum Tariku. I welcome Masoud Pilaravaran, graduating with honors. Very welcome. Also graduating with distinction, Joyce Mack. Graduating with a Bachelor of Architectural Science, Program Head Wesley Wallen. Please welcome Jordy Ashworth, graduating with distinction. Also graduating with distinction, Abu Bakr Saud Bajaman. Please welcome Yun-Si Chen. I should point out that when I say they graduate with distinction, that means they have 80% or higher as their GPA. Graduating with distinction, Spencer Chisholm. Please welcome Kenneth Darling, also graduating with distinction. Please welcome Justin Deddens. Graduating with distinction, Lucas Harl. Graduating with distinction, Ashley Hugh. Graduating with distinction, Jeevan Kira. Please welcome Graham Kyle. Graduating with distinction, Andrea Ornopia. Please welcome Hugo Ramirez Lagos. Please welcome Adele Vasegi. Please welcome Dana Wolosoff. Please welcome, and the last graduate from this program, Daria Zubkova. So our next graduates are graduating with a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Program Head Paul Thurston. Graduating with distinction, Catherine Bown. Please welcome Shane Devine. Please welcome Irena Eskulikova. Our next graduate, Kent Hodgson. Please welcome James Howells. Our next graduate, Kiras Lari. Graduating with distinction, Nicholas Lenart. Our next graduate, Brandon Livingston. Please welcome Benjamin James McElhaney. Our next graduate, Gregory Saselja. Please welcome Pawan Sidhu. Our next graduate, Brendan Schneeberger. Please welcome Kurt Keenez. Our next graduate, please welcome Sean Rye. Please welcome, graduating with distinction, William Riley Schober. Please welcome Katarina Stevovic. Please welcome Raujan Suleiman. And the last graduate in this program, please welcome Kwan Ting Young. Our next graduates are graduating with a Bachelor of Interior Design, the full-time interior design program. Program head is Tia Manson. Our first graduate, Zinnia Alcantara. Graduating with distinction, please welcome Lauren Bogey. Also graduating with distinction, please welcome Laura Durant. Please welcome Caitlin Gall. Please welcome, graduating with distinction, Jessica Uni Kim. Graduating in this program as well, please welcome Hilda Lee. Graduating with distinction, Jessica Larissa Maroon. Also graduating with distinction, Basha Opiol. Also graduating with distinction, Mir Vanderlind. The following graduates are graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Ecological Restoration. Program head is Doug Ransom. Please welcome Melissa Elizabeth Englewin, graduating with distinction. Please welcome Natalie Gray. Please welcome Jess Hemphill. Bravo. Please welcome Michelle Christina Hill. I only taught him for 2 years, and now I actually know how to pronounce his name. Arthur Kujawiak. Please welcome, graduating with distinction, Audrey Ashley Law. Please welcome Laura Emily Newberry. Graduating with distinction, Mashid Salou. No, Salah. No. Salah Omum. Mashid Salah Omum, graduating with distinction. Also graduating with distinction, Sarah Marie Thomason. The following graduates are graduating with a Bachelor of Technology in Construction Management, program head Beth Renwick, and our first graduate, Christopher Martin Ball. Please welcome Ryan William Bianchini. So we have our youngest graduate today. I think it's your dad, Kaveh Imani. Congratulations. Please welcome Adam Kant. Graduating with distinction, Peter Mihalik. Please welcome Arash Sorabi. Graduating with distinction, Cheng Ying Wang. Also graduating with distinction, the last graduate in this program, please welcome Jason Alexander Wood. Our next graduates will be graduating with a Bachelor of Technology in Environmental Engineering, Program Head Lauren Sampson. Our only graduate able to come today, please welcome Yi Wang. I should mention that some folks take the programs like environmental engineering on a part-time studies basis, so they're at work, they're at school, they have family, etc. So sometimes we only have the pleasure of having one or two able to join us. The following graduating with a Bachelor of Technology in Geographic Information Systems, Program Head Carl Kliparchuk, our first graduate with distinction, Joseph Sire. Our next graduate graduating with a Bachelor of Technology in Geomatics, Acting Program Head is Chris Thornton. Please welcome Brian Bennett. Please welcome William Chen. Our next graduate, Braxton Fawcett. Please welcome James Sean Howie. Our next graduate, graduating with distinction, Spencer Michael Christensen. Please welcome Zeb Maloney. Our next graduate, Andrew W. Rutherford. Graduating with distinction, and the last student in this program with us today, Jay Van Nortwick. Our next graduates are graduating with an advanced diploma in Geographic Information Systems, Program Head Carl Kliparchuk. Please welcome graduating with distinction, Nick Eisen. Also graduating with distinction, Ian McCants. Please welcome Michael Shee. Please welcome graduating with distinction and the last student in this program with us, Devan Vora. Our next graduates are graduating with a diploma in Architectural and Building Technology. Program Head Michael Curry. Please welcome Nicholas Anderson. Our next graduate, Jordan Asensio. Please welcome Michael Ah. Please welcome Selena Barcenas. Please welcome Norman Bauman. Graduating with distinction, Kyle Donald Berry. Please welcome Alex Blaze. Please welcome Veronica Carolina Boria Cerón. Please welcome Megan Zaira Bratobo. Please welcome Justin Reyes Carlos. Our next graduate, Elliot Carlson. Please welcome Stephanie Wan Yi Chan. Please welcome Yue Chen. Please welcome Craig Kwan Chung. Our next graduate, Adam Chima. Please welcome Matthew Michael Chersonoff. Please welcome Mark Alexander Cardiasis. Graduating with distinction, Neil Murray Dykes. Also graduating with distinction, William Esau. Also graduating with distinction, Lana Angeline Fitzgerald. Please welcome Beverly Foster. Please welcome Darlene May Bercasio Francisco. Please welcome Yasmin Gaya Magami. Please welcome Liam Gillis. Graduating with distinction, Patrick Gonzalez. Please welcome Alyssa Graham. Graduating with distinction, Melissa Haddadi. Please welcome Param Haji Said. Graduating with distinction, Julio Hilu. Also graduating with distinction, Jason Hernshaw. Graduating with distinction, Brady Scott Hudson. Graduating with distinction, Krista Cals. Please welcome Shakiba Karami. Graduating with distinction, Melissa Casper. Please welcome Jessica Serena Langi. Our next graduate is Connor Lee. Please welcome Chong Yang Lee. Our next graduate is Kelly Liao. Graduating with distinction, Braden James Olson. Please welcome Davin Patel. Also graduating with distinction, please welcome Andrew Pham. Graduating with distinction, David Quincy. Please welcome Parissa Rafat. Please welcome Pierce Matthew Orion Redon. Please welcome Denise Reyes. Our next graduate is Haley Robbins. Graduating with honors, welcome Ranveer Sandhu. Please welcome Gordon Emmett Bramwell Sankler. Please welcome Nicola Lino Sermonia. Graduating with distinction, Mahak Kaur Sidhu. Please welcome Cassidy Amber Rose Silbernagel. Please welcome Dawson Mitchell Suderman. Our next graduate is Albert Tang. Graduating with distinction, Justin Toddle. Please welcome Judy Tran. Graduating with distinction, Ina Vu. Our next graduate is Courtney Tixon. Please welcome Christoph Glenn Van Maren. Please welcome Vladimir Vukovic. Our next graduate, Taylor Woodcock. Graduating with distinction, Jessica Wanfor. Also graduating with distinction, Simon Wong. And our last graduate in this program, please welcome Michael William Yap, graduating with distinction. Our next graduates are graduating with a diploma in civil engineering, program head Paul Thurston. Please welcome Christian Abrasinos. Please welcome Thomas James Amos. Please welcome Muhammad Basik Udin. Please welcome Spencer Bain. Our next graduate, Brian William Boyer Brown. Please welcome Megan Chan. Please welcome Jasmine Chana. Graduating with distinction, Hannah Clark. Please welcome Vicente Adias Matsumoto. Please welcome Alana May Eugenio. Laurel Kathleen Fitzgerald. Please welcome Jason Fong. Trevor Alexander Friedman. Jacqueline Banyi Ho Angie. Please welcome Kevin Keys. Our next graduate is Alfred Knox. Please welcome Woody Lee. Please welcome David Liu. Please welcome Anthony Ralph Makalisang. Nicholas Michael Mitro. Please welcome Zikreya Nasari. Our next graduate is Nawid Niaz. Our next graduate is graduating with distinction, Joshua Pennykid. Our next graduate, Garrett Charles William Peters. Please welcome Spencer Richard Pouquet. Please welcome Daniel Ron. Please welcome Paris Sagoo. Our next graduate is David Scarlett. Please welcome Prabdeep Sekon. Graduating with distinction, David Stamanov. Graduating with distinction, Casey Von Hahn. Please welcome Daniel James Wong. Our next graduates are graduating with a diploma in geomatics engineering technology. Acting program head is Chris Thornton. Our first graduate, Elhaj Ba. Please welcome Jarrett Edwards. Please welcome Jacob Jacobs. Please welcome Kevin Jisub Lee. Please welcome Jin Lee. Please welcome Bo Hao Mao. Please welcome Kevan Ross Sharoknyan. Our next graduate, Felix Sim. Please welcome Mian Zhu. Graduating with distinction, Yuan Yao. Our next graduates are graduating with a diploma, both in full-time and part-time in interior design. Program head Michelle Lafontaine and also program head Lori Burns. Our first graduate, Stephanie Freebans. Please welcome Hui Wo Vivian Ho. Please welcome Xian Jiang. Please welcome Brittany Rank. The last students in the part-time program, Stephanie Schmitz. So these are part-time interior design, diploma of technology, program head Lori Burns. Please welcome Yuhan Chang. The following graduates graduating with a diploma in mineral exploration and mining technology, program head Reza Tafti. Please welcome Kevin Apodaka. Please welcome Jasteven Baines. Please welcome Allison Thea Scow. Please welcome Shinle Wang. The following graduates graduating with a diploma in fish, wildlife, and recreation, program head, me. Here he is, Jonathan William Baggio, graduating with distinction. Well done. Oh my goodness. Jim William Herodine. That's a nice one. Marissa Jessie. Please welcome Marissa Jessie Hoffman. Graduating with distinction, please welcome Michael Kujura. Please welcome Nathan Joshua Lowen. Please welcome Alishka Lom. Our next graduate, Eric Lotto. Please welcome Roxanne Marie McMartin. Please welcome Ketki Nagpure. Graduating with distinction, Krista Overbury. Graduating with distinction, Samantha Francesca Ray. Please welcome Jessica Sorensen. Also graduating with distinction, Maggie Grace Stewart. The following graduates graduating in the Sustainable Resource Management Diploma Program. Program head is Steve Finn. Our first graduate, Ashley Elodorine Albury. Please welcome Scott Mackenzie Bennett. Please welcome Jordan Kopp. Graduating with distinction, Andrea Hogler. Also graduating with distinction, Ryan Lee. Please welcome Lee Guanghu. Please welcome Erin Brianne Patrick. Please welcome Zhujin Zhang. Our next graduates graduating with a Diploma of Trades Training, Electrical Apprentice, Chief Instructor Ted Simmons. Please welcome Michael John Veach. Our next graduates graduating with a Diploma of Trades Training in Joinery, Cabinet Maker Apprentice, Program Head David Dunn. Please welcome Stephen Thomas Fancy. Next graduates graduating with a Certificate in Civil Engineering Technology, Program Head Ken Zeleschuk. Please welcome Mandeep Sandhu. Okay, our next graduates graduating with a Certificate, Part-Time Studies in Interior Design, Program Coordinator Lori Burns. Our first graduate, Rostislav Benchev. Please welcome Lisa Lee. Our next graduate's graduating with a management certificate, part-time studies in interior design, program coordinator Lori Burns. Please welcome Wei Lu Jiang. Our next graduate graduating with a certificate in security systems technician, chief instructor Ted Simmons. Graduating with distinction, Eric Leon. So this is now the School of Transportation. Dean is Guy Ellis. Also, the Associate Dean of Aerospace Programs is Gord Turner. The Associate Dean of Automotive Programs is Mubashir Faruqi. The Associate Dean of Motive Power Programs, Steve Perry. And the Associate Dean of Marine Programs is Captain Philip McCarter. And our first graduate with the Bachelor of Technology and Technology Management, Program Head Terry Suin. Please welcome, graduating with distinction, Derek Barr. Graduating with distinction, please welcome Peter Druskin. Also graduating with distinction, Peter Huang. Okay. Graduating with a diploma, Automotive Service Technician, Ford Asset, Chief Instructor Mark DeRoche. Please welcome Zhengming Guo. Please welcome Samantha Ashley Magecki. The following graduates graduating with a diploma in Automotive Technical Studies, Chief Instructor Mark DeRoche, and please welcome David Duan. Our next graduates graduating with a certificate in Automotive Refinishing Technician Foundation, Chief Instructor Randy Sandu. Graduating with distinction, Greg Hunter Bergquist. Graduating with a certificate in Heavy Duty Mechanic Foundation, Chief Instructor Mark DeRoche. Please welcome Nathan Tyler Dolan. I think this fellow was recognized earlier, weren't you? Please welcome the last graduate of today, Andrew Stephen McLaughlin. Take your seats, relax, just for a second. Now, would Jennifer Figner, Chair of the Education Council, please come forward?
Good morning, everyone. Throughout the year, it's the role of Education Council to advise the Board of Governors on the development of a variety of educational policies, new programs to offer, changes to our existing programs. We set policies, criteria, and procedures for the awards that you receive, academic standing, appeals, those awesome examinations, and we set curriculum content for courses leading to our certificates, diplomas, and degrees. By virtue of this, it's the Education Council that recommends to the board the appropriate credentials be conferred upon you as graduates, and you become graduates of BCIT. Today, as chair of the Education Council, I get to do the fun part. Graduates, will you please stand? And take that tassel from the right side of your cap and flip it to the left side of your cap. This signifies that you are now officially a graduate of BCIT. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2016.
You're ahead of me, so please be seated if you aren't already. I now call upon Spencer Bain, a graduate of the Civil Engineering program, to come forward and deliver the valedictory address.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the 2016 graduation class, I'd like to welcome all friends, family, faculty, and distinguished guests to this special event. Sorry, Dad. Last week, my dad said, "You're not going to do that thing where you welcome everyone, are you?" The truth is, my dad's a great guy, and I wouldn't be up here today without him and the rest of my family, my girlfriend, Lori. So let's give our friends and family a round of applause for coming out to see us cross the stage today. Well, graduates, congratulations. We survived. I commend all of you for making it through the notorious BCIT workload. And it is notorious for a reason. A month ago, right before finals, I ran into one of my favorite instructors in the civil program, Chris Nowinski. In some encouraging words, he said, "It's almost over, and this is probably the hardest you'll ever have to work." And I think that's true for a lot of us. Like many of you, before deciding to enroll, I heard the programs at this school were challenging. But it's not till you see someone spend 72 straight hours in the library designing a sewer system that you realize that life at BCIT is pretty intense. It isn't until you see someone bring a flat of energy drinks and a camping cooler full of food so they can spend the weekend at school that you understand what the alumni were talking about. I think even after 2.5 years, my parents were still in complete disbelief of how much time my classmates, my girlfriend, and I would spend at school just trying to pass our classes. My fellow graduates, even though I don't know all of you, we have something in common. We've all worked hard to get here today, but it's all for a good reason which goes hand in hand with the other thing that BCIT has a reputation for, and that's getting people jobs. The piece of paper that you're receiving today doesn't just have the name of your respective program on it, but the widely known idea that to get through BCIT, you have to have a work ethic and tenacity to power through any challenge thrown your way. And at the forefront of challenging our wits and our sanity were the distinguished faculty. Even though they may have served as the face of our frustration, ultimately they guided through our success. Please join me in taking this opportunity to thank our instructors for helping us succeed and readying us for the workforce. And we are ready. After constantly being challenged week after week, We've grown and developed into individuals who are ready for our futures. We'll need these skills to overcome the challenges facing us in the world, such as global warming, broken down sky trains, bridges that are falling apart, terrible traffic, and of course, the prospect of Donald Trump being the new president. But as you take on new and exciting roles in the world, I encourage you to remember your experience here and who you went through it with. I encourage you to maintain the bonds and friendships that you formed while surviving BCIT. In the future, when you're an experienced alumni, I encourage you to give a chance to those who are in the same position that you were just in, whether it's through mentoring an industry project or simply giving helpful advice. There's always a student looking to gain that first little bit of experience. I know I was. Most importantly, I hope you can use the foundation that you've built here to follow your dreams and make yourself happy. Congratulations, my fellow graduates, you've done it.
So thank you, Spencer. I had the opportunity to meet Spencer the other day, and I just knew he'd deliver an awesome message, and he sure has. So one of the people that nominated you says you're a role model spokesperson for BCIT, and I think you should join the alumni right away so we can get you out there. That's so true. You were also lauded for your contributions to BCIT. Now listen to this, everyone. You helped found and then acted as president of the BCIT chapter of the American Concrete Institute. You were also vice president of the BCIT chapter of Canadian Society for Civil Engineering. And then I guess you weren't busy enough, so on top of that, on top of the time-consuming roles, you volunteered as a student blogger on our website, as a class photographer, at BCIT Open House, and at various other events. And Spencer, you've won scholarships and photo contests, and all of this while completing your studies. Well done. The folks who nominated you also had some other nice things to say about you, and I'll just share a couple of comments. Spencer's calm, mature, detail-oriented, and a natural leader. He's respected by his classmates and instructors. Spencer's always carried himself in the most professional manner. He communicates well and gets along well with others. He's made the most of his time here at BCIT. Spencer, you have been a huge asset to BCIT during your time here, and we're so proud that you're now an alumni. And I have to tell you, your family is just beaming as well. So please accept this gift as a small token of our appreciation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Spencer, and thank you, Kathy. Now it's time to congratulate and celebrate. Our processions will now leave the auditorium. First, the platform party, followed by our faculty, and then our graduates. Before they go, I promised to remind you about a couple of things. Mountain West Studios will be available for studio portraits of graduates upstairs in room 3040. Leader Frames, a framing company, is also available just outside the hall if you would like to have your diploma professionally framed. I also want to remind you that a video of the ceremony will be available online in a day or two. Go to bcit.ca/convocation and you will be directed from there. Graduates, please return to the gowning area to remove your gowns before going to the reception. And please move away from the doors as you leave to avoid congestion. Everyone is invited to join us for refreshments following the ceremony. The reception will be held in the gymnasium across from the auditorium. A huge thank you to all of the volunteers, some of them who are up at 4 o'clock this morning, and for all of the staff for their efforts for an outstanding ceremony today. And lastly, A personal note from me to all of you who just crossed the stage. I graduated over 30 years ago from BCIT, and the skills and training that I gained from the education at BCIT has taken me all over the world and back again. I envy you as you start out on your career, and I congratulate you on a job very well done. Thank you to all of you for joining us today. The processions will now leave the auditorium. And would you please remain standing until our graduates have departed? Thank you.